A very good evening to you, dear viewers. Hello and welcome to a new edition of Business Insider. I'm your host for tonight, Mohammed Abdurrahim. And tonight we'll be talking about the economic integration between Egypt and Sudan, especially in the field of industry, agriculture and investments. The Nile partnership between the brotherly countries of Egypt and Sudan. And we are delighted to have with us here in the studio Engineer Omar, Hussein. And Engineer Hussein is a leading voice in Sudan's industrial future. He's the founder of the Foreign Map program, and he is of course also an industrial policies expert and advisor on industrial projects, and a developer of the sovereign scale projects in industry, agriculture and livestock export. A very good evening to you, Engineer Hussein. It's a great pleasure to have you with us.
Assalamu alaikum. It's nice to meet you. It's my pleasure to be with you in your premium show.
Peace be upon you, and thank you very much, Engineer Hussein, for joining us. Engineer Hussein, by the way, is also a former presidential candidate in his native country of Sudan, living here in his second country of Egypt. I mean, Egypt and Sudan, really the brotherly nations. Engineer Hussein, dear viewers, allow us first, as we always do in the program, to watch a report about our main topic for tonight, and then when we come back, we will start our discussion. Please stay with us.
In February 2025, Egypt and Sudan issued a joint statement on the political consultations held in Cairo as the two sides discussed ways of pushing forward cooperation in all fields. In that context, they welcomed the outcomes of the first Egyptian-Sudanese Business Forum that took place in November 2024 and stressed the importance of the good preparation of the second one for Egypt to participate in the reconstruction and for bolstering trade exchange and joint investments. The two sides welcome joint efforts to implement electricity and roads linkage. Egypt has already rehabilitated Sudan's Wadi Halfa harbor in order to consolidate the inland transportation within Sudan and between the two countries. In June 2021, Egypt signed memos of understandings with Sudan and South Sudan to deepen bilateral investment cooperation, particularly through Egypt's General Authority for Investment, GAFI. Egyptian exports to Sudan include textiles, machinery, raw materials, food and petroleum products. These sectors align with Sudan's drive to rebuild its industrial base and food security capabilities. Egypt promotes incentives and a streamlined company registration process to attract Sudanese investors. In turn, Sudan offers abundant agricultural land and resources appealing to Egyptian firms. Agreements between the two countries also extend to water resource development, especially sharing Nile water and partnership in irrigation projects. Institutional cooperation includes executive programs in agriculture, irrigation and technical skills cooperation.
Welcome back, dear viewers. Many thanks to Abir Hussein and Rasha Abdul Hamid for this report. And we're back here in the studio with our distinguished guest, our dear guest, Engineer Omar Hussein, the industrial policies expert and the founder of the Foreign Map initiative. And who has a big role, by the way, in the cooperation in the industrial, agriculture and investment cooperation between his native country of Sudan and his second country of Egypt. First of all, it's a great pleasure again to have you with us. Talk to us, Engineer Hussein, about before the numbers, and talk to us about how are Egypt and Sudan at this point in their economic and investment relationship?
Okay. Firstly, we can talk about the relation between Egypt and Sudan. It is a historical relation. It is a very long time ago. People of families of Sudan are bonded in with families in Egypt. The borders, they didn't stop them at all.
We used to be one country after all.
Before we were like a one country. The culture is the same. We have the Nile is running in the both countries, and we drink from the same water. And also we have before a very long time, since 1970s, when President Sadat and President Numeri, they make the integration, and they have the agreement for the freedom agreements, and this gives access for the both nationalities, Sudanese and Egyptians, by movement, by living, by owning properties, and for working also.
And of course we know that many Egyptians are half Sudanese and many Sudanese are half Egyptians, as naturally, I mean, many Egyptians live in Sudan, many Sudanese also live in Egypt, and this has been going on through the course of our recent, and I guess old history as well.
And this it came to the top actually after the war now in Sudan, when most of the people from Sudanese came from running from the war from Sudan. They came here, and now most of them they're looking and searching for the Egyptian nationality, because their grandfathers or their relatives or background relatives, they found they have been born here in Egypt. So they look for their birth certificate, they go there and they issued a nationality, Egyptian nationalities.
Of course, it is their second country after all. Now, Engineer Hussein, what makes Egypt and Sudan economically complementary rather than competitive?
This brings us, Sudan is a huge country. We have almost like 200 million faddan, which is ready for agriculture. We have the water sources. We have the water sources. We have the livestock. Almost like 100 million head of livestock, and this is like one of the biggest livestock in the continent, in the world, in the continent, in Africa actually. And together we can use these things together with each other. Egypt have the technology, have the idea, have the manpower. They have the expert in exporting and like the manufacturing, the factories and engines and doing the quality things. We have the land and we have the water. Egyptians, they have the engines and they have the know-how and they have the capital. If we come together, we will bring to the ground a very good idea, like this is what we are going to call the integration, economically and financial economics, and to help the both countries, moving from taking things out. Let me say it in another word. Will bring the both countries. Agriculturally will be satisfied. For example, in the wheat, for example, in the meat process, instead of Egypt importing from other sides, and so it will be importing from Sudan. In the borders, we can make farms for feeding, animal feeding. We can make shelter houses.
We've been talking about this for so many years, but little has been happening, or are we finally making some progress? For years we hear that Sudan is the basket, Sudan has these great lands, and the potential integration between Egypt and Sudan can be very beneficial for both countries and for their neighbors as well, not just for Egypt and Sudan. But are we finally making some progress, or are we still lacking and lagging behind? Because for years we've been talking about this.
This is true.
For decades.
For decades, and very, very long time. And that you said before at the beginning, that Sudan and Egypt were the one country, and the same. Everything is the same going inside. But the problem is the bureaucratic the bureaucratic system, and some people in the government, they don't like this integration to be happening because they have some arrogant or some political issues between them. In Sudan, let's be honest, in Sudan, some people, they say we don't want to be running under Egyptians ruling, you know. But
it doesn't have to be like this. I mean, it should be
in the same same level.
Yeah, we're in the same boat.
This is what we are looking for. This is what we are looking for. Okay, if you are going to the same level, how we are going to bring this to the top? By doing integration in politically, in education, in agriculture, if there is a goodwill of a political goodwill, this will be how we can achieve these things together.
Right. So what sectors, Engineer Hussein, are most likely to see a successful integration?
There is a lot of potentials we can go work in it. For example, if we take out from the beginning, like the agriculture and food security. Now we know the world is having a problem, insecurity of the food. So if Sudan have, as I said before, 200 million faddans ready, we have the water. We can bring from the other part, from Egypt here, we can bring the seeds, the good seeds.
That's a huge number. I mean, 200 million faddans. I'm just thinking of the number. That's a huge number.
But you can start from small steps, and then you go. For example, I have made already before like a visibility study for farming 1 million faddan for wheat. 1 million faddan for wheat, the production for 1 faddan, for example, in Sudan, it produced from 1.2 to 1.5 ton, 1 faddan. While here in Egypt, 1 faddan produced from 2.5 to 3 ton. The consumption of Egypt is more than 20 to 200,000, right?
You mean
the consumption for wheat in Egypt here?
Yeah. So I don't have the number, but I know it's big.
Yeah, it's big. And Egypt is importing from Russia, from Ukraine, from some other countries. It will be much easier for importing from its neighbor, from its neighbor sister from Sudan. Instead of investing outside, they can bring the technology, irrigation, pivot irrigation, drip irrigation, whatever.
And this can be done also with the respective currencies of the two countries, right? Without reliance, for instance, on the dollar or.
Yeah, this will be like, for example, we can open now, for example, like the National Bank, Egyptian National Bank, for example, can open a branch in Sudan. So and they will put a certain amount there, and if Egypt want to import something from Sudan, so it will be doing the business together like by the local currencies, Egyptian's pound and Sudanese pound, instead of taking US hard currency dollars and send it outside. And this is like a big issue for the both of countries, our countries, because the export bill is really high, not only in wheat, but in many aspects, especially in Sudan. Maybe in Egypt here, it is not that much big one.
No, it is big as well. I mean, the import bill is big.
Still not like Sudan, because here you have the agriculture, you have the industry, you have the infrastructure, and you are very expert in exporting. If you think like, yani, what you are doing, you are exporting to the Gulf, you are exporting to Europe, to the United States. Even the meat, for example, you are exporting to Europe and to the Gulf. Why don't like if we do the integration in the livestock, for example, Sudan also have a very huge amount, as we said before. We can build together, for example, like farms for animal feedings in the borders, near to the borders. We can also use the land for the animal feedings. Then we build the shelter houses in the borders. Egypt then, after we feed it in Sudan, we feed it, we bring it to the shelter house, then we transport it either by trains. This are going to come later to renew the rail line between Aswan and Halfa, and this will reduce the costs very much. We will build like cold stores and chilling stores, and make the logistic systems, make facilitate the the customs and all. Yeah, if they have the goodwill between the two companies, between the two countries,
right?
It will be much easier. We will have open a lot of jobs for both.
Sure.
For use from here and here. Yeah. Another thing also about the manufacturing. For example, it's not we have the cotton in Sudan, we have the Arabic gum, we have sunflower. We can also we can be satisfied from the oil, because if we also farm the sunflower and then we do the machinery for the oil, Egypt and Sudan will cut the bill for importing the oil from outside, and this will make also a reserve for the foreign currency. This is also going to be in the wheat, going to be in the wheat, going to be in the meat, and in the seeds. For example, the consumption now, I know we have the simsim. The consumption in Egypt here is very high, and almost 70% is come from Sudan, and the other 20% come from other countries. Egypt can bring the seeds simsim from Sudan, and it's manufactured here, added values, makes added values here. Instead of use it here a small amount, it can also re-export it again in the name of made in Egypt and made in Sudan, made with the integration between Egypt and Sudan. This will be a good win-win situation for the both countries.
Very nice ideas and initiatives you're putting forward, Engineer Hussein. I guess, though, and because of the fact that for decades Egypt and Sudan have not been able to achieve the potential of their cooperation or integration, I guess any approachment between Egypt and Sudan angers some powers around the world who don't want to see big Arab countries united, or because Egypt has huge potential, Sudan has huge potential. So if they are united, if they work together, if they reach the full potential of their integration, this, I guess, is against the interests of, say, some Western powers, some developed countries. I mean, you tell me, is that one of against Israel? For Israel wouldn't be happy if it sees Cairo and Khartoum get closer together and their economies, flourish. And I mean, this will not be good news for Israel or for. So, is that one of the main barriers or obstacles, in your view, that has been blocking this cooperation for decades? I say decades, not just years.
Yes. Yeah. Okay.
And how can we overcome that?
Yeah. Actually, this is the main point, and this is the main issue the two countries are facing for decades, as you said. Yeah. If you go backwards for a very long time, maybe before we were born, both of us, it will be like, for example, during the time for Mr. Jamal Abdel Nasser and Mr. Numeri and Al-Gaddafi, and they make the integration between the three countries, and this was like a ringing point for all. For the West and for Israel, because if they came together, community together, it will be very strong. We have the land, we have the oil, we have the resources and the know-how. And this is not, and the point is not, it's not going to be only in investment or in economic, it's going to be also in the defense issues. And this is what happened on 6th of October during infection. So I don't think people, they are going to fight, they're not going to allow this to happen, whatever is going to, we are trying our best. And
we have to continue to try.
Definitely, as we were talking outside before we come here, the problem is now we are in the middle of political. We don't have our political say by our own. There is another interfering from outside. For example, from the Gulf, from Israel, from the West, from America. So we cannot. If you want to do anything, no, they said they will twist your arm from one side. No, don't do this. Do this. Okay, we will give you access for the aid, for example, fund for whatever, they will stop it for you. They will make sanctions. That's what is happening now in Sudan. If you don't go with them, if you don't agree with all their wills or all their points they needed, they will going to make sanctions. They will stop the aid from you. So the problem it will be if you don't have your food safety, if you don't have your will safety, if you don't have the power that you can say, I want to do this without any interfere from outside, we cannot do it very easily.
Engineer Hussein, how soon do you think peace and security can be restored to Sudan? Not really. I mean, we're all praying for this to happen soon. I mean, are we expecting? I mean, there have been some good things happening in the past few months, right?
Yeah.
So when should we expect things to calm down and to get back to normal in Sudan?
We are all praying that the stop will stop very soon and the peace will come to Sudan. Now Mr. Al-Burhan have announced it, Mr. Dr. Kamil Idris as a Prime Minister, civilian Prime Minister. We are looking to have the acceptance from the international community that not only the military is ruling the country, but we have a civilian government. This is the problem, that most of the countries outside, most of the communities, most of the NGOs, of the organizations, EU, the United States or whatever, they have a problem that they don't agree, they don't say that the military government is the real government ruling the country. That's why he transfer and makes the civilian country. And they are putting the RSF for Dam al-Sari and the Sudan government in the same level. And this is actually, this is one of our biggest problems now facing the Sudanese people and the Sudanese government. Now the Americans are making sanctions for us. They say that they are using biological chemical weapons, and
that's
this is
the allegation.
And this is actually not we told them, you know, our Ministry of Affairs, they told, okay, let's bring inspections from outside and come and check if this is happening or not. But all this is like a rules, like they want to twist you, they want to press you down to accept some agreements that it is not going in the favor of Sudanese people. But we hope it will be.
I have to ask you this question, a political question, I guess, but because of two things. First of all, because you're a former presidential candidate, so politics is also part of your world. And the second reason I ask you about this is because surely, if you know, peace and calm and security in Sudan would help would further strengthen the cooperation, the economic cooperation, and the integration between our brotherly countries of Egypt and Sudan. Certainly, this will make it much easier for businessmen and businesswomen to start, achieve the potential of the two countries, because the two countries together are strong and have great potential, as you highlighted. Engineer Hussein, you're the CEO of the African Trading and Investment Corporation. Tell us about that corporation and how are you working to make this corporation beneficial to the integration between Egypt and Sudan?
Okay, actually, when we decided to come to live here in Egypt, this is before the war for me. And I found that this is a good opportunity for me to come and live to bring my family here. Same cultures, you are safe here, life is very easy, people are very helpful. I established my corporation, my company, I registered it here and start doing the business. Actually I'm an industrial man. I usually have a lot of many factories in Sudan, like water factories, plastic factories, and ice making factories, cold stores. And I find the things here will be much easier, the regulations and the system and the procedures are much easier than in Sudan during a certain period of time after the revolution of 2019. Things there was going very difficult. Even, you know, we don't have the fuel for the trucks for transportations. We don't have the electricity for the factories. We don't have the raw materials, the logistics to bring it from outside. The problem of the foreign currency. So here things was going very easily, and it was a good land for investing, good opportunity for everyone to come and invest in Egypt here. I started doing business. I said, instead of doing business for example, importing from other countries, why shouldn't I import from Sudan? I start my idea, the initiative of integration between Sudan and Egypt.
Beautiful initiative, by the way.
Yeah, and started importing from Sudan the seeds, like the same, and the groundnuts and all the things that we have, small things we have. I bring it here, and then I sell it to the factories here. They make it like the sweets, like tahina and all this stuff, and they use it in local, and they import it, they export it to other countries. On
so
the other
benefit
side,
for all sides.
For all sides. So from here, I used to import to my country, to Sudan, to import the fruits, the vegetables, all these things. Although my country have the big land, but we don't have the infrastructure for the things. You get my point? Yani, as I said before,
that's why we complement each other. Egypt and Sudan complement each other.
Exactly. Yeah.
Beautiful. We need 100 initiatives like yours, really. That would be definitely something very good for the both of our countries. Also, you're the developer of the sovereign scale projects in industry, agriculture, and livestock export. Talk to us about that that field, again, the livestock, and how important is it to cooperate together in that area?
Actually, because I was like, as you said, I was a presidential candidate. I was a little bit interested about my country, and everyone have to take care for his country and how to develop it and how to take it to upgrade everything in it. Yani. So we have like initiatives like called independent initiatives in Sudan, and we start like doing, you know, like doing studies and doing feasibility studies, and how we can move the economy from Sudan from going down to raise it upstairs. So we with the contacts with some people in the Minister of Industry, Minister of Agriculture in Sudan, we have a good contact there, and we sit and we find what was the problems, what was the real problems facing the ministers there, or the ministry there, or the people there in charge, and we try to solve it, and we find, okay, how we can find how we can find the budget, or how we can find the finance, how we can find the market for them, how we can find the training for the people here there in Sudan, how we can make the things coming easier, like the power, the roads, the transportations, the manpower, all these things. And also every time I was thinking, okay, instead of going, for example, and bringing labor and bringing for example, labor from the Far East, or bringing machinery from EU or Kida, we can bring it from Egypt here. We can make it together. Because things here will be much easier, and people here are very willing to help, very willing to do business together. The population here, Egypt, is have a very huge population, mashallah. Definitely not like Sudan, but
what's the population, by the way, of Sudan at the moment?
Almost 45 million.
40.
Yeah,
okay.
40 million.
What about South Sudan? How?
This is different. I'm not sure actually.
But it's less. It's much less.
Yeah, definitely much less. Much less. I think we can. I have also like we were sitting and we have like idea. Okay, why don't we bring farmers from Egypt here? For example, we can take more than 2 million farmers, and we can give them lands, and they have to go with their families.
That's a win-win situation.
Yes, yeah, and they will farm the land. They have the Nile, they have the rainy water, they can agriculture everything they want. They can farm everything they want, and they can bring it here. So we can do like a stocks market for them there, and it will be their money. They don't have to be worried about how they are going to to get back their money, because every investor have a big issue, have a big worry when he is going to invest in one of the third countries. It will be a big issue how I'm going to get back my money back. Instead of getting your money back or taking dollars in the black market, you can take goods and send it back to your country, home country, and definitely your country will buy it from you, because it's in need for wheat, need for the sunflower, need for the meat, need for a lot of things.
A win-win situation. Definitely whenever we talk about cooperation between Egypt and Sudan, it's a win-win situation. There is no question about that.
Also, one thing I remember, University of Cairo, there was a branch there in Sudan. Very long time, and majority of our grandpas, and they have graduated from this university. They have Jamal Abdel Nasser School, high school. They have the call it al-Bahth al-Ta'lim, I don't know what they call it. Educational
delegation or mission.
Education mission, Egyptian education mission, and it was a very big, and most of our Sudanese people were graduated from University of Cairo, the branch in Sudan.
And Sudan is very well known, just like Egypt, for the brilliance of their engineers and their doctors. And whenever there is cooperation between Egypt and Sudan, it's a win-win situation. We really commend you on your efforts, Engineer Hussein. We wish you the best of luck in your initiative, and again, we need hundreds of initiatives like this, because whenever Egypt and Sudan cooperate together, this is a win-win situation for the two brotherly nations. On behalf of you, dear viewers, we thank very much our dear distinguished guests with us here in the studio, Engineer Omar Hussein, the industrial policies expert and the founder of the Foreign Map program and the former presidential candidate in Sudan. Thank you very much. It's been a great pleasure.
Thank you very much.
Sir. Thank you. We hope to see you again.
Inshallah. Another last thing I'm saying, like Sudan and Egypt are not just neighbors. They are two wings for a bird. And if this bird, we feed it very good well, these wings will take us very high to the sky, inshallah. It will be a very good country, inshallah.
Beautifully said. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Nice to meet you.
And thank you, dear viewers, for watching Business Insider. Please stay with 9 TV.